Store will answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
We wait all pro football season for the big game. But will you come out on top? Warhorse Festival of Games is putting you at the center of the action with 2 chances to win big. Earn entries for our $100,000 prop card challenge daily at Warhorse Casino Lincoln. Enjoy slots, sports wagering, and horse racing. Then make your picks about the big game to be eligible to win. Qualifying entries will also be put in the running for your share of the $20,000 grand prize drawing. Increase your luck for the drawing by playing free online games on the Festival of Games website. Skip the trip to Vegas and get in on the big game right here at Lincoln's favorite place to play. And if that's not enough, our $1 Million Bracket Challenge for college basketball is coming soon. Full details are online at warhorsecasino.com. Warhorse Casino Lincoln, just minutes from downtown at Highway 77 and West Denton Road. Why not today? Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into Ticket Weeknights. I'm Harrison Arns, back here at the 1040 Ticket Studios on the ones and twos. We got the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El, streaming in. It's been a great football weekend. DeMornay Pierson-El, how's it going on this cold Monday night?
I'm glad to be inside more so than outside.
Yeah, I feel you there. But as speaking about this NFL weekend, I definitely want to start there because a few surprises. The biggest one, obviously, probably going to be the Green Bay Packers. Didn't only beat the Cowboys. It was over after the first half. For anyone who was watching that game, a nightmare game for any Cowboys fan. Jerry Jones. Real quick, let's just start there.
The Cowboys are the Cowboys. Like
that early, though. That surprised me. I knew Jordan Love was looking good.
The last 2 years it's been the same way.
Not surprised at all. So the not even the level of meltdown that we saw. A team that was great, playing man coverage all year, plays zone. A team that was great throwing the ball around the yard, plays a lot of run game. It was a very confusing game for me, watching the Cowboys go away from everything they did well to get them to that point.
They didn't show up to play, and I'm not saying that they weren't prepared, but whatever they had planned, they got hit in the mouth, and they didn't get back up.
So are the Packers just that good, or the Cowboys just once again pulled off an amazing, we're going to play to our talent level?
I don't think the Packers are just that good. I think they've definitely shown flashes of what they can be and what they will be later on down the line. I don't think Dallas just didn't show up. And any given Sunday, you got to come and be able to play. And they didn't put their best foot forward. That wasn't their best showing. They weren't dominant at all on the offensive side or defensive side. It just fell apart.
Yeah, team stats for that one. The Cowboys, they actually win in total yards, 510. A lot of that coming in garbage time, I will add. Passing yards, Cowboys get it. Rushing yards, Packers get that one, 143 to 123. The yards per play, Packers win that one, 7.7. But you'd look at the game stats, Dak Prescott, just not the game you want to see. He would go 41 for 60 completion-wise, not bad percentages. But when you have two interceptions at crucial points, one of them being a pick six early in the game, not going to do yourself a lot of favors. So the Green Bay Packers, they win that one. That 10-8 now 48-32. And again, the Cowboys did make a little bit of run there in the second half, but for the most part, that game was pretty well over. Moving on here in some of these other games that happen in the NFL. And of course, we will have the Eagles-Buccaneers game. That'll be on the FM airways. But if you guys are watching, stay tuned in. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo, Channel 961. We will have those streaming as always, but we will be carrying the NFL games on the airwaves. Rams-Lions, 24-23. Lions finally get a win. That puts the Dolphins as one of the worst streaks in losing playoff games. So the Lions finally get one. They are able to take down the Rams. The storyline of that one is obviously Stafford, Goff, the quarterback battles. But just overall thoughts, Lions take that one away. And I think you actually thought the Rams were going to win that one, but it was close down the stretch nonetheless.
Jared Goff, he did everything but almost choke. They came out hot, and the second half they just weren't as consistent as the first. I thought the Rams would go in there and upset them. I thought offensively wise that and they did. I mean, they got almost any and everything that they wanted. Their defense just couldn't get a stop, and that was just the problem with the Rams. Period. The offense is fine. Defense isn't what it used to be. But I mean, happy for the Lions. Long drought. Those fans, they deserve it. It's just a messed up city with football and basketball.
Yeah, you're definitely not watching the Pistons.
Oh,
that's for sure.
But the Lions are that team that honestly that you might want to watch out for. They're playing good. They've been moving the ball well and everything like that. Even with them stalling on offense, their defense still got things done. So you might want to watch out for them.
Yeah. Dan Campbell and the Lions continuing what seems to be a promising team that continues to get better year in, year out. But one more game here, a couple more. Let's get to this one first. Browns, Texans. Browns, they get stomped on. 14-45. Final score. CJ Stroud has himself a NFL playoff debut, I should add. The guy goes off 0 interceptions, 3 touchdowns. It, by all means, looked like the best player out there. And you see quite a few guys, Collins, for that team. You got new coach D'Amico Ryans, young quarterback CJ Stroud, and the list goes on. You still got Damian Pierce, who was a lot more promising his rookie year, a little bit of a sophomore slump. He's still kind of like the surrounding of that young core. Texans win that, though, 45-14. That Browns defense didn't really live up to the name. Any results surprising you for that one?
Flacco. Yeah. If you give the other team opportunities and they capitalize them, you're starting from behind period. They were playing well. They were playing okay. They came out bland. They really weren't taking any shots. And I know, Cooper was hurt with the heel bruise and everything like that. I just didn't expect them to come out and play like that. I was expecting more from them. But the Texans, they were firing on all cylinders. They were getting whatever they wanted, however they wanted. That coach has them ready to play. That coach has them believing, that they can keep up and play with anybody in the league. So I'm happy for that coach. All in 1 year with a rookie quarterback, that's not easy to do at all.
Yeah, and Nico Collins was kind of the guy for him in the wide receiver room. 6 receptions, 96 yards. And this is the thing about CJ Stroud. No guy has over 100 yards receiving, but that's what he does so well is he's able to go through his progressions at such a young age already. Just a high IQ guy. Nico Collins, 6 receptions. Jordan with 1. You got Menchie the third with 3. You got Schultz 1, and it's just across the board. Just about every single wide receiver got a couple of touches except from Noah Brown and Andrew Beck. The only 2 guys without targets out of all that wide receiver room. So that's something with CJ Stroud. For all the guys that got minutes, you're getting targets. If you're open, he's going to find you. So the Texans, what is a realistic timeline for this team to go ahead and continue to develop, that they could actually turn this thing into a Super Bowl caliber team. I don't think they're there yet. Obviously, they're too young, but that's an impressive win against what was a highly respected defense in the Browns, and they obliterated it in that first game.
I think that will be sooner than later. Texas is a location to where, you know, taxes are included. So you got your franchise quarterback, you know, he can be good and everything like that. That might be a hot spot for, you know, free agents that want to come down there and everything like that. You got a good coach, you got a good thing going and everything like that. And the location of the city. So I think they will be coming a lot sooner than what other people may think, just because you got a lot of pieces. But he's also still going to need help. But like I said, in free agency, you know, with them being in Texas and not having, you know, the state tax and everything like that, players like playing in states where they get to keep more of their money. And I mean, that's exactly what Texas is. You know, you're winning your conference. You know, the conference is going to be between you and probably Jacksonville now. We don't know what the Colts have. You know, they got a rookie that was hurt early in the season, but I mean, as of right now, it's between the Texans and the Jaguars to win a conference, you know, to win their division. So I think that will happen a lot faster. They got a lot of good draft picks. They hit a lot of early picks with the trade of Deshaun Watson and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're cashing in. So I think that'll happen a lot quicker than what people think.
Yeah, I mean, the likelihood of it, and trying to pick a team, any team, even if they're the best team to win the Super Bowl, that's why the odds are positive. But it's to me a team that already has a lot of the foundation. Like you said, they had a couple more pieces, you know, 4 or 5 years. I can see that team knocking on the door of Super Bowl if they continue to develop. And like you said, Texas free agency, who the hell wouldn't want to play for D'Amico Ryans right now? Former player, great coach, has a great connection with CJ Stroud. You're kind of seeing that too with the Lions and Dan Campbell, but I definitely think the Texans right now are going to be a bright spot. Moving on here in some of these NFL playoffs. So now we're going to have a matchup. Obviously, we'll have these matchups. We'll talk about those later. One more game that's actually about to take place before we talk about those matchups. The Eagles and the Buccaneers. This game's got a lot of intrigue to it, not only because the Eagles looked like the hottest team in the NFL, and now they are heading to Tampa Bay, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the ones hosting that game. So they got a road game to start the game against Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mania, whatever you want to call it. How are you feeling heading into this game? And the winner of this one will, of course, get the fabulous opportunity to take on the San Francisco 49ers.
I think this is a trap game.
For the Eagles?
Yeah. I think it's up to them to lose it. On paper, they're the better team. They have the better record. They have a lot of things going for them. Quarterback, I mean, it can go. It's a toss-up. Offensive line, Eagles. You know, receivers, Eagles. So they favor a lot in the matchup. Hopefully, you know, they've put their differences aside and got back to what got them to being good. And if they do what they're supposed to and everything like that, I think, you know, it'll be at least 10-point favorite towards Philly to win.
Yep, and we're seeing that as they just kicked off here and they are underway. You got the 11-6 Eagles playing Tampa Bay in the NFL wildcard round. Buccaneers at their place. So we'll keep that one tracked for you. See if Baker Mayfield can pull off what to me feels like Baker Mayfield has to have a good game here. If he wants to be that starting guy, I don't know how many more shots he can get. This feels like an opportunity for him, and it's at home. That gives me some hope that the Buccaneers can actually go ahead and win this one. But when looking at the Eagles, where do you think this downward spiral started to happen? And we've kind of talked about it before, but throughout these playoffs, you know, point out some of those problems that you've been seeing and what they can do to address them throughout these playoffs.
I think the downward spiral started to happen when they lost their offensive coordinator to go to the Colts. He took the head coaching job there. Yes, they've been dominant. Yes, they've shown flashes and been good enough early in the season to win those close games and everything like that. But when, you know, injuries creep up, frustration creeps up, There's something, going on within. I don't know, if it's between players or between the players and the coaching. Um, they're not all under the same roof.
Mm-hmm.
It's a divided house, and that's never good. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully they got it figured out. And the things that they haven't been doing, consistently running the ball. Last year, they were physically, dominating teams and running the clock out and everything like that. That's missing. Putting Jalen sometimes like in the best position with play calls. And they're becoming very predictable. I don't think their defense is anywhere as good as it was last year. Their D line is just not getting home. Slay has been in and out with being hurt and whatnot. So I mean, he's your best, your back end safeties. I mean, I haven't been overly impressed by them. I think definitely the defense has been their weaker unit. And if their offense does not run out the clock or does not, physically impose their will within games and everything like that, and you put it on a defense to win games, I think that's where they get in trouble.
Yeah, and we're kind of seeing that pass rush so far having a little bit of trouble as Baker Mayfield easy to get one over the middle to Mike Evans. And Mike Evans, what another year by him, as he's a guy that's probably been one of the most consistent wide receivers in the NFL. It doesn't really matter who you throw back there at the quarterback position. Mike Evans knows how to get open. And this seems like a game where if they're going to have a shot, you're probably going to end up with Mike Evans over 100 receiving yards and a touchdown as well. But it's going to be interesting. The Eagles have been in a serious funk defensively. Offensively, it feels like they're really putting the entire game on Hurts' shoulders at times. He's got to make all the explosive plays. We've talked about it before, but when we talk about that Eagles offensive line being one of the most dominant, the run game ranks towards the bottoms in terms of explosive runs. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you think you got the best offensive lines. Those big runs are going to be available, and it just doesn't happen. So in the meantime, Hurts has got to make all those big chunk plays. If they're looking at a 3rd and long, very rarely are they ever able to get it through the ground. 2nd and long, same thing. So a lot of the pressure seems to fall on Hurts' shoulders. It was a great Super Bowl showing last year. Do you think last year's Jalen Hurts that we saw, the Super Bowl run, do you think that was kind of a peak year from Hurts? Or do you think that this year is more so the fluke compared to last year? That last year was his actual standard, and this year is what we'll call the fluke?
No, I wouldn't say this year would be a fluke. What you did and what you were comfortable with, teams kind of picked it apart and okay, well, you're not going to beat us this way. You have to beat us, another way. He hasn't been playing terrible. Just the offense, it just hasn't been what it was. You got, I think, who was a better back than what they had last year with DeAndre Swift. I'm not saying it hasn't worked out, but it hasn't grown fully how I thought it would. I don't think they utilize him as much as they can be in between the tackles or, having him going out and catching the ball. And I think that's put, their offense in a bit of a runt of just not staying on time. Now, when you take these shots, to AJ and everything like that, it's expected or people, he's being shaded and you got to take it away. They take him away. And I mean, and you have another one receiver with Smith on the other side. So, I mean, you got your 1-2 punch. It's just not, it just hasn't been full throttle of playing a complete game all the time. It's been too close. And early on in the season, they were winning those close games. And like I said, late in the season when you haven't corrected those things and you haven't, hit those things in stride, you start to lose. And I think they just kind of hit that patch to where people have you figured out and you got to do something different.
Yeah. And let's talk about one more team that may need to start doing things different in the future. Miami Dolphins. I think a lot of people could have told you they were going to lose to the Kansas City Chiefs after they lost that Bills game. It was a team that was looking down, that was struggling. And then you look at the rest of their schedule after that Bills loss, it wasn't getting any better. They go to the playoffs, and then you look at the weather. It's in Kansas City. It's at Arrowhead. All the odds are telling you stay away from the Miami Dolphins, and that's exactly what happens. They get 7 points to KC's 24. Patrick Mahomes, despite breaking a helmet in the middle of the game, that just explodes because that's how extremely cold it was. Which is crazy. I've never seen that happen before. Even with those older, crappier helmets, I've never seen a helmet just fully explode like that. But in that game, were you surprised at all by the Dolphins' just inability to really do anything?
I wasn't surprised. Offensively, it wasn't one of those games to where you're going to be able to really throw it down the yard. They have they're like a 2.0 of what San Fran is, just not as physical.
Mm-hmm.
We see a lot of the same things, a lot of things that hit and work, but their running backs aren't as physical. I think Mostert is probably the most physical, but he's hurt. You don't have, your physical receivers. They're not as tough as the 49ers. And I think when you get into where it's going to be, a slugfest, or you're going to be exchanging blows, that they're just not necessarily built for that. And then you throw in the weather, and it's something different. But the Dolphins were hurt on defense. They couldn't get any pressure really on Mahomes. So I'm not really putting all that on Tua. They have to be better, but the weather conditions isn't. They have to play better with that. But I'm not so much. Oh no, they're not what they say they are. Like, no, they lost some pretty good star players on the opposite side to stop people and whatnot, to get after people. So I'll give them another year or two to really kind of figure out and see exactly, who are they really going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. You look at McDaniels, and he's interesting to me because I don't know if at one point in time you're looking at him as this coaching genius, and now with this year's roster, you had all this talent. We expected more. So with McDaniels, a little bit of roller coaster in itself with him, where you think his coaching talent level is. But I do think that's a team where I get curious about Tua. Looking forward, is Tua still clearly that franchise quarterback if you're part of that Miami Dolphins franchise?
I'm not breaking the bank to pay him. I'm not making him, a top paid quarterback. But you're also not in a position to really go out there and get, that franchise quarterback right now. So as I said, if I'm not mistaken, he still might be on his rookie year deal. If not, okay, give him, a 2-3 year extension and kind of reevaluate that at a later time. He has the potential, as long as he can stay healthy. He has the pieces around him. So I'm not. Him and Dak are two different quarterbacks. Now, if you talk about Dak, I'd be in a different boat. With Tua, coaching change, offensive from a defensive coach to an offensive coach. This coach, first time really in this kind of role and everything like that. So this coach is also learning as he goes. So I'm giving them, a little bit more time to figure out things and whatnot. I'm not ready to say, oh, move on from Tua. He's not good or anything. No, he has flashes. Are there parts in his game that he needs to fix and do better at? Yes. Are they definitely fixable? Yes. So I don't think it's right to say, oh no, just move on to the next thing when there's a lot of upside to that.
Yeah, and he's interesting because at one point in time, people were getting about him for not being able to throw the deep ball. Then that conversation goes away, and now it's kind of coming back again. Sometimes I think it's mechanical because he can make those deep throws, and sometimes they seem to flutter when he just puts too much arc on it. But nonetheless, another storyline to follow with the Miami Dolphins, Chase McDaniels, Tua Tagovailoa. How does that thing continue to work out in the offseason? But with that being said, we will go ahead and throw it to our first break here. We got a couple more NFL games I do want to talk about on the other side, as well as some more Husker football recruiting news. It's been a pretty good month of January for Matt Rule and company. But nonetheless, this is the Don't Punt Hour with the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El streaming in. I'm Harrison on the ones and twos. We'll talk to you guys on the other side.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, getting the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OakStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor at just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
Oak Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
We wait all pro football season for the big game. But will you come out on top? Warhorse Festival of Games is putting you at the center of the action with 2 chances to win big. Earn entries for our $100,000 prop card challenge daily at Warhorse Casino Lincoln. Enjoy slots, sports wagering, and horse racing. Then make your picks about the big game to be eligible to win. Qualifying entries will also be put in the running for your share of the $20,000 grand prize drawing. Increase your luck for the drawing by playing free online games on the Festival of Games website. Skip the trip to Vegas and get in on the big game right here at Lincoln's favorite place to play. And if that's not enough, our $1 Million Bracket Challenge for college basketball is coming soon. Full details are online at warhorsecasino.com. Warhorse Casino Lincoln, just minutes from downtown at Highway 77 and West Denton Road. Why not today? Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn pottery or floral design, take a computer course, learn Spanish, how to start writing a book, or Air Fryer 101. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
As the chief buffet officer here at Pizza Ranch, I get all kinds of buffet questions. Here's one from Cole.
Is there a real cactus in your cactus bread?
Great question, Cole. No, there is no cactus in our cactus bread, just sweet cinnamony streusel. It's on our buffet every day, along with pizza, chicken, ice cream, and all your other favorites. Even better, at least for your parents, kids eat free on Tuesday nights. And don't worry, Cole, there's no coal in our coleslaw either.
Pizza Ranch, everyone's favorite buffet.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Koppel. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Koppel. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at koppelcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G2076684.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey guys, Jake Sorensen here from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-2840.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. I'm Harrison Arns on the ones and twos back here at the 1040 Ticket Studios. And again, if you guys ever want to join the show, Starter Heyman text line, that's 402-464-5685, as well as for streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Allo channel 951. Channel 961 is our new Allo channel. So 961 all the way across Nebraska. If you got Allo, you got the Ticket on channel 961. But continuing our conversation with the NFL, as we're kind of going through some of these games here, we've talked about all the games that have already happened outside of what just happened already today within the Steelers face on the Buffalo Bills. Most people would have expected the Bills to get the win. Sure enough, they do. Steelers offense wasn't quite enough. Defense played okay, but just quick thoughts from that game.
For the Steelers to start how they started and get to where they were, it was a tremendous season by them. They just didn't have enough firepower.
Mm-hmm.
A little inconsistent, but I mean they played hard, they played physical. It was a true AFC North football game. Wasn't disappointed at all. They got hot and we're knocking on the door, but the Bills closed that door quickly. It was a better performance by them. I can't wait to see the Bills and the Chiefs go at it next week. I think that the Bills pull this one away from the Chiefs. That's just me personally.
So you got the Bills taking down the Chiefs.
Yes.
And what is the Josh Allen revenge game?
For sure.
Okay, give me that. Let's talk a little bit in the future here. You got the Buffalo Bills finally kind of conquering their demon and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
Why do the Bills have the edge?
The Bills have the edge because I feel like they've been playing more consistent to where late in the season their running attack is starting to come along. They still can throw it down the field. I understand, Kansas City has had a better year on defensively this year and whatnot, but I mean, Josh Allen can still beat you with his legs. So if you want to run man, you're leaving him against linebackers, and he's playing at home. All those games before then, they've been at Arrowhead. Now you come up north to where you're on the road for a playoff game, and I think that they got enough. They're tired of being the little brother, tired of getting beat and everything like that. I think it's just a perfect storm brewing for the Bills to give the Chiefs finally a loss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of the more expected games, not expected, anticipated games. I'm with you with the Bills. It just feels like the Chiefs this year, it's the most lackluster talent Mahomes has ever had around him. When it comes to all these playoff runs, this is a run where if Mahomes finds a way to get to the Super Bowl with the roster around him right now, there's no question in my mind that he is the best quarterback in the league.
You say lackluster, but a lot of the receivers that was on this team this year were on the team last year and won the Super Bowl.
Tyreek Hill is that big difference.
Tyreek being, he
And
wasn't
the injuries haven't helped with the running back room.
He wasn't on that team last year, and they still won the Super Bowl. So which one is it?
That's a good point. That's 2 years ago, man.
So
yeah, Mahomes is that guy. And Andy Reid.
I don't want to hear lackluster. I don't want to hear it. You went to the Super Bowl with that team with those same receivers that are there. I don't want to hear it. No, nope, not taking it.
Man, now you got me curious. That's a good guy. That's a good one. I'm gonna have to look up the rosters when we go to our next break here. See how many actual returning players are there from them, because you might be more right than I am. So I'll have to look that one up. Double check there.
A lot more than what you don't think. That whole receiving room is still the same. The only person they lost was Juju, and Juju wasn't. He wasn't really a factor in Kansas City. So he wasn't the same Juju in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. So okay.
I like the Bills for the sake that I think they got the running game. And I'll have to do a deep dive on the roster around Mahomes. Why do you think this year then for the Kansas City Chiefs? I know they're in the playoffs now, and they're looking as good as they have all season long with their win over the Miami Dolphins. Talk about the weather, whatever. But what do you think the Kansas City Chiefs this season have just been up and down? Do you think it had to do with all the injuries that they're facing, especially around that running back room?
I think that is a piece of it. But I also think,
so at one point the Raiders were knocking on the door to win that division. It was a weird year for the Chiefs.
They just missed opportunities. They had some big time plays that if were made, they would be sitting differently and probably a little bit more respected. But people don't fear the Chiefs as much as it was the fear of Tyreek Hill. Now, teams can, now we can double Kelsey. Okay, so Kelsey might have, those big games here and there every now and then, but consistently, it's just not going to be him to beat it. So now you have to figure out another way to win and beat teams. And it's been a frustrating year for him to do so. Now it's just not, running around and throwing it as far as you can because Tariq is down there somewhere. Or, our teams were they more scared of Tariq beating them, or were they more scared of, Kelsey beating them? So now there's no threat down the yard and everything like that. And it's literally left up to Mahomes to do something. And not to say that he can't do it. He can't do it, but it's a long season. And he needs help. It's a team. And I don't think that his team is on the offensive side has helped him as much as they have in the past.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Real quick, before we go to our break here, I do got to ask you about the new Alabama head coach, Kellen DeBoer. He gets the job after spending, 5 total years in the NAIA. Didn't do too bad there. He was with Sioux Falls, a 67-3 record overall. Obviously makes the next step, goes to Fresno State for 2 years, 12-6 overall. Then to Washington. More people really start to recognize the name. He goes 11-2 his first season, 14-1 in the second season, obviously, as we got to witness. And then, of course, finishes 25-3. 2024 will be starting as the Alabama head coach for the 24-25 season. What are your thoughts on the hiring? A name that wasn't talked about a whole lot. He was definitely in the mix, but probably not the one most people picked first. But DeBoer gets the job at Alabama. What are you seeing in the future for him?
That hire kind of shocked me. That's definitely, a different type of opportunity. To be honest, I'm shocked that he left.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was probably their first choice, but then again, how things happen so quick, he might have been. They might have checked with one with one person before, going to him and everything like that. I like it. He's an offensive coach. He's different than what they're used to with Saban down there. So I think he changes things up a little bit. I know they kept 2 of their defensive coaches that were good coaches with helping Saban develop guys on a defensive side. So I think that's a win for him. You got a talented coach, a smart coach who knows offense. You got a lot of players, a lot of gifted players down there. I think they're going to be just fine. I like the hire. I think he's a good coach. I don't have anything bad to say. He can get the kids to play for him. He can get, the kids to bring the best of their best out. And in college football, that's what you want. So, I mean, good for them for, seeing the potential, seeing what he brings to the table and going out there and landing them.
Yep. And that's one thing with him. I didn't, the name, wasn't the first name that came to my head, but you look at his track record and I think you're right. I think it was a good hire. You look at everywhere he's gone, he wins. His first year in the NAIA, he gets to the semifinal. The 4 years after that, he's in the championship game. 2 years at Fresno State, great year one. Their second year here's at Washington, great year one at Washington. And I expect a great year one in Alabama. So with him, he's proven that not only can he win, he can have an immediate impact on those cultures. Sure. And when he has that, he continues to win. So I think it actually was a pretty good hire. But with that being said, though, we'll go ahead and throw it to our final break on the Don't Punt Hour here with the morning. Pierson-El, host, is always streaming in. I'm Harrison on the ones and twos back here at the 1040 Ticket Studios on a cold Monday night. Don't go anywhere. We got one more segment up next.
When it comes to joining the Nebraska Army National Guard, you've heard it all before. College, healthcare, signing bonus. But joining is so much more than that. It's setting yourself up for a new and better chapter of your life. I'm Staff Sergeant Paul White, and because of the Nebraska Army National Guard, I'm in control of my career. And when the workday ends, I get to come home to my family. Write your next chapter by joining the Nebraska Army National Guard. For more information, schedule a meeting with me, Staff Sergeant Paul White at nationalguard.com.
You can get diesel anywhere, but what about Atomic Diesel? That comes from Stern. Atomic Diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems. Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with Atomic Diesel. Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how Atomic Diesel and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
24/7 threat monitoring, expert tech support, streamlined communications. Allo has a solution for that. Protect your business with Allo Business. Comprehensive firewall security, Microsoft Teams voice-integrated communications, cybersecurity and IT support managed by experts. From productivity to peace of mind, Allo has a solution for that. Allo means business. Protect your business by visiting allofiber.com/business.
Introducing The Outlet by Sartor Heyman. The Outlet brings you luxurious Sartor Heyman quality jewelry at unbeatable prices. Shop our expansive inventory of overstocked merchandise and a vast estate collection that just hasn't found its home yet. This is your chance to own stunning designer jewelry at a fraction of the cost. Elevate your style at The Outlet by Sartor Heyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Downtown at 12th and O or online at sartorheyman.com.
If your home heating system is making strange noises or just doesn't work like it should, call your friends at Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Sign up for Bryant's exclusive ESP service protection plan. You'll get twice annual complete and thorough service on all brands, and you'll never pay overtime charges on evenings, weekends, or holidays. Schedule your heating check today and ask about Bryant's ESP plan to save money. Call 467-1111 or go to BryantLincoln.com. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Today's agenda includes office meetings this morning, followed by a client lunch, then back to the office for another meeting, and ending the day with a presentation at a client's office. When you are on the go, you need an office phone that goes with you. At Hamilton, our business phone systems make it easy to sync your office phone features to your cell phone for quick and seamless call handling, no matter where you work. If your current office phone can't do this, you need better. Hire your local experts. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This is Brad with Midwest Bank, proudly serving our Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank, making local decisions, supporting local organizations, and helping local businesses and farms succeed. We are dedicated to serving our clients and helping them meet their financial needs with sound, innovative banking solutions. From an array of checking and deposit accounts, cash management services, to small business, real estate, and ag lending. We're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com. Member FDIC.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
When it comes to joining the Nebraska Army National Guard, you've heard it all before. College, healthcare, signing bonus. But joining is so much more than that. It's setting yourself up for a new and better chapter of your life. I'm Staff Sergeant Paul White, and because of the Nebraska Army National Guard, I'm in control of my career. And when the workday ends, I get to come home to my family. Write your next chapter by joining the Nebraska Army National Guard. For more information, schedule a meeting with me, Staff Sergeant Paul White at nationalguard.com.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Don't Punt Hour. I am Harrison Arns on the ones and twos back here at the 1040 studios as we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers currently leading over the Philadelphia Eagles 10-0. When it comes to these NFL playoff games, not too many of them have been too close outside of the Lions-Rams games, but for the most part, they've been relatively over before we get to the fourth quarter. With that being said, though, we'll go ahead and bring him in. The host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El. DeMornay, are you shocked at all to currently see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers leading this Philadelphia Eagles team who you gave the dub before the game kicked off here, and now they're leading 10-0, and they're moving the ball down the field again with only about 50 seconds left in this first quarter. So plenty of time left in the first half for some damage with the Buccaneers. Strong start.
I still believe, it's a long game. It's 4 quarters. You can get hot and go cold. So, you can start slow and get hot. So it's a little concerning. I'm not worried. The Eagles just have to wake up and play.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they definitely need to
the Buccaneers are definitely taking advantage of, what what's being given to them. So I mean, big ups to them.
Yep. And Hurts too, with that hurt finger. I know it's on his throwing hand. I believe it's his index finger. I could be wrong on that, but 100% it's on his throwing hand. And you would hope that being in Tampa Bay, that's the one time where not being the home team, hopefully it gets you a little bit help there, just so you don't have to deal with that cold and that sting when you're playing with a hurt finger. But nonetheless, just hasn't been that game. You see Sirianni shaking his head on the sideline, Hurts shaking his head as well. A lot of head shaking for the Philadelphia Eagles. Baker Mania, in the meantime, pumping up the crowd. And he's doing his best to really win over that crowd as he did over in the Browns. Now he's got a chance to do it with Tampa Bay. But with that being said here, let's go flash forward to the future a little bit more here before we wrap up.
Did you look at the roster?
No, we had some company behind the window, as you're sure you're familiar with, that we had to go ahead and part ways with. So, Morty, I'll go ahead and give it to you. I had a little bit of time to look at it, and my point wasn't looking great. I think you were more right. There's more guys on that roster than I originally thought. I didn't get the total number for you, but a quick glance was telling me you were on the right track, and I was not. So maybe that's just the thing. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs, it is Mahomes, and you guess can't really call it an undermanned roster because it's kind of the same roster that's been doing it in years past. But I do want to keep talking about the future here as we're looking at these games. So now we have the Chiefs-Bills rematch, which is obviously going to be a great one. But now we're also going to have an opportunity to see this Texans team play Baltimore Ravens. Does this, what you want to call a fairy tale story for CJ Stroud, going to end with the Baltimore Ravens? Or is there a serious chance that this upset, if you even call that first game an upset where they beat the Browns, is this going to continue? And do we have a chance to see the Texans playing in an AFC championship game?
I don't think so. The Ravens are my pick to win the Super Bowl this year, as long as they can stay healthy. I said it at the beginning of the year. The Ravens have been in this position before where they had the number 1 seed and, lost to the Titans, who went on to to play in the divisional. So that's a sour taste left in, the city of Baltimore's mouth. And, some of those players that were still then, I know for sure Harbaugh hasn't forgotten it. I think I wouldn't say obliterate them, but I don't think it'll be close. I think Baltimore will make things uncomfortable for a rookie quarterback, even though he's handled a lot of pressure this year and whatnot. And you're outside, you're in the elements. It's cold. I know he played at Ohio State, so the elements shouldn't bother him too much. But that defensive, that front seven for Baltimore is different. They were comparing that defense to I think it was the 01 or the 2000 Ravens defense, and they're very identical. So I don't think that the Texans have a chance, honestly.
All right, now let's move on to what is going to be the team that most people, if they're going to be taking the positive odds, they're probably going to be looking at this team. The Green Bay Packers will take on the Detroit Lions. We talked about the Detroit Lions. It felt like they were about to give the game away towards the end there, but they hold on to it. The Packers, meanwhile, absolutely blow out the Cowboys, as we talked about before. Wasn't really even that close. The score even makes it closer than what it really was. Does this storyline continue for Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers?
That's a hard one. They're playing a division opponent for a third time, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Detroit beat them both times, or did they split? They might have split.
The Packers were able to steal Thanksgiving.
Okay. It's hard beating a team twice. The Packers.
Yeah, so they got them last time 29-22, and that was Thanksgiving Day. The Packers with the win.
The Packers are playing extremely well. Like I was shocked with how they came out, with Dallas. But again, it's a divisional game, so that's a tough one. They're playing indoors, so you can't really, say the weather. I think whichever quarterback is more consistent that day probably gets the better of each. As long as Goff doesn't choke. He's been in that position. He's been in an NFC championship. He's been in the Super Bowl, so he's familiar with that. So I give that to him. But I mean, you got a young guy that where they were throwing the whole kitchen sink at him, and he still was just, throwing darts. So that game will be a good game.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm there with you as we wrap up the Don't Punt Hour here. The Packers are looking scary. I don't know what Jordan Love is or what he's going to be yet, but it's a lot better than anything the Bears have had in a quarterback in years. So it's a little nerve-wracking. Jordan Love is something. What he's going to be is to be decided. When this run ends is to be decided. But you're talking about consistent quarterback play. It's been Jordan Love over Goff if we're going to go down, especially the last 7 weeks of the NFL. So
sure, I'll give you that.
I think if you're looking at upsets, the Green Bay Packers, as you pointed out, might go ahead and just be that team. But we'll have to find out next weekend. As meantime, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers leading the Eagles 10-0. But that's not going to end with Ticket Weeknights. We got Speed and Power with Megan Walker. And then to wrap it up, what's brewing with Chance of Brewington. Appreciate you guys listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.